Hello. It is time. Oh man. What have I got? Where am I? In the test mind, I have the change stuff happens. I click save, it saves. If it gets changed, I click save. I guess I'm doing the array editor. I have need to edit an array. So for now, I'm basically just going to support having... Okay, first of all, I don't like how the array editor works right now, where you like click and then you expand it and you have like half the side is for the number and then the other half is for the item. I think that's silly. But I do think just the base string editor is fine. I think it is fine. So my thinking here is if I do arrays wow, I don't know. I guess I'm just not ready to talk right now. Need more fluidity. I know how I want it. I just want to use a vertical box that says, alright, I click add element, I add an element, I can click a button next to any element to delete it, and I type in the value of each element. There's no reordering. I don't care about the order. What I could do is I could invent sort of my own export custom. I mean, technically it's a set too, isn't it? It is a set. I could use the dictionary for the set and just set keys to be have a null value. Let me look at guide set. Guide has a set type. They also apparently have an array edit. Here, guide set. So yeah, helper class for modeling sets. I mean, I don't really have to do that, but sure. Value equals value at all. They just said it to be null. That's what they should do. Because then you're just storing it twice for kind of no reason. And they're only checking keys. Yeah. So I could use a set because I know that the order doesn't matter. And I specifically want the order to not matter. Then when I said with some custom export, I always get this hint string here. So I could, instead of doing an array, I could make this a set. And you know what? I kind of want sets so badly that I might just end up exposing the actual set type that exists in Godot already. Where it would be in it's in templates. They have set right here. I believe dictionary. They also have a vector set. Is that what this is? A vector set? What is this? It's a vector as a set. So yeah, it just uses an array. It treats an array as a set. Why do I have caps lock on? Oh my gosh. Hash set uses an array. Hashing? Insert unlikely. Exists. If exists, return position. Look up position. While true, if hashes is empty. If the hash is the same hash, position is that value. Okay, so it looks like they keep an array of hashes. I mean, I guess that's, you know, how a dictionary works, right? You do have an array of hashes. Actually, no, what is that? Position fast, oh, there it is, okay. I'm like, no, it should be constant, because it should go straight to the position that it should be at, and then start looking for those other ones. Okay, so I actually can't just expose it very easily. But I just want to see, is dictionary just hash map? Dictionary private. They do it this way. Dictionary private does just have a hash map. Yeah. Well, never mind. And I mean, I also know I do have some idea, right, of what I'm doing with this. I guess I would really like to set it up so that just the property info gives me enough information to say, yeah, this should actually be like a set, and the order doesn't matter. You don't want two identical items. One sec. You don't want two identical items. It wouldn't make sense. You don't need to reorder them because the order doesn't matter. I guess you could say it matters because, like, it's processing order, but nothing should rely on, like, the order of target groups. Property editor. So I should probably rename this. Actually, we'll rename it. Let me go look at how the property hint for string works. Should be somewhere here, and they should link me. Okay, they don't. All right. The property is a string that hints that the property represents a particular type. That was to select a type from a create dialog. The property will store the selected type as a string. What? Weird. If the property is an array, hints the editor how to show elements. Hint string must encode nested types using :n/. Here it looks like vertical bars, but the property is a dictionary. Hey, Yelio. Property is a dictionary, hence the editor how to show elements. Hint string is the same as array, with semicolon separating the key and value. I mean, I guess it could support a comma that says set. The new Chinese Power Word game announced 4 months ago and I didn't know. Even more similar to Pokemon? Sure. I mean, I could also use item list and do the drag thing again. How's life? It's good. I will be ending a little early today because I need to do something else. So I have to make sure that I actually eat lunch at like a proper time and not waiting until like 3 or 4 o'clock. One shot. Oh. Shame on me. A callable property should be displayed as a clickable button. When the button is pressed, the callback is called. The hint string specifies the button text and optionally an icon. Oh. His trailer say you're keeping tabs. I mean, it's only a couple things, so I can leave it open. Also, I need all the tabs that I have open right now. Actually, I don't. There's no way I need 3 of these. I'll leave it open. I might actually go back to that. Well, I've got links. I can get there if I need to. Let me see if there's anything I can do with the inspector for like array. Editor inspector array. Their ordering is so weird. Why did they put the constructor at the bottom? It's so stupid. It's actually just so stupid. Odd style, even style. I just want to see if they have anything that's not... that allows me to say, hey, don't use up literally half the screen for the number. Pop-up menu, elements. There's got to be one that's like the add button, right? I mean, they have to bind that to something. Add element, connect to add button pressed. What? Move element -1 to -1? What the hell is that? That's gotta be the craziest way I've ever seen to add an element. Using a side effect of move element. Move element. That's insane. Whoever wrote that, you are crazy. That is actually insane. Why would you do that? Just don't, you don't need to do that. You cannot do that. Alright, so where do we think it adds the element to the list? Element index is -1. P2 pause was also -1. If it's less than -1, we fail. Swap method is not empty. What? Fail if object does not have swap method. Swap method was provided. If element index is less than 0, this means this happens. Swapping. If this is greater than or equal to 0, we add an undo. We're increasing count. And we don't do that because we already read that. That is literally so crazy. All of this code to run these two lines. That's all it does. Crazy. Straight up insane. It adds one to the count property. Well, then I guess it does this too. It adds one to count here. Count. Okay, so that it has to page change request. I mean, it has to do something else. I guess I'm looking for draw. I was wanting to see what they added there, but no, how? Oh, 2 notifications here, of course. Alright, well, whatever they do is magic. Elements VBox. Straight up, it's just magic. Don't care about that, I think. Add item panel. This is it. Add child panel. What is a array panel container? Array element. Array element panel. Okay. Wait, what? If numbered. AEH box. We add the move button. Wait, movable and numbered. A vertical box? If not unresizable? That's, I hate that. Not unresizable. So that means it's resizable. Okay, so they have numbered and movable, which I like to see. That means I probably, possibly, maybe, can set those values. So this is an editor inspector array. Does that exist? No? Because if I can remove numbered and movable, then that all goes away. Because then the H box is now, you know, now we're using there's also numbers min width. The move box is to expand and fill, which is why you get that, I guess. Okay. Editor inspector array. And I bet they use bind methods and they're stupid because you can never call those methods because it's not. Oh, no. Okay, they didn't. So how can I set movable? How can I turn those off? Maybe it reads a constant value. Maybe it's a style and it reads a constant value. Okay, I don't know how to spell movable, I guess. Oh. Check if the property is an array counter. Dedicated array editor. Class name components is static. Movable false. Class name components. Class name. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I can. They do just have commas in there. Why don't they document that? They straight up do. Oh, well, I mean, not really. But I can... No, they... Huh? Class name. Because class name is... Tell me that they, like, set this somewhere then. Because I gathered the values there. They need to have movable somewhere else. Set up with count property. Class name. Class name components. I'm assuming, yeah, this has to be that, but how does numbered come out to be true? How does numbered come out to be true? I don't keep track of the number of line you wrote a day. I don't even know how I would do that. What is this? Update tree. So I mean, it kind of looks like I can do this. Class name. All right, let me go back to, I guess let me go here and say, for now I'm just going to print. I'm going to print that. because I really want to see what this looks like. Class name is empty. So how does it get anything in there at all? Because it clearly, when I load it, it adds that in. So let me see. Okay, so somewhere the string numbered has to be put in. It has to be. Somewhere this has to be made true. Or I guess technically not. I guess it could just pass. Because what does it do? It calls setup with count property. Oh, wait. If p type. Type is 28. Type is 28. Is 28 the string name? Okay. Type is 28. It's array. Huh. If editor inspector array. An array counter. So I don't think this is where it's made then. Yeah, so I'm gonna look for a menu, I guess. What? No way. Okay, well, we're just being annoying. Really, it's actually only instanced in 2 places and everywhere. How does it even work? How is it ever even used? Okay, it's got to be instanced somewhere that I don't know where. What? So it doesn't use editor inspector array? I don't, what? Okay, property usage array. Or property, what is it? Property type, property hint array? Yeah. Oh, no, oh my, stop. Stop. Array type. What? I missed it. Ooh, get property hint or property info type name. Extension API dump. I don't think I care about that actually. How is it not checked anywhere? What now? Literally what now? Does it never actually check that? Is this like a fake thing that is never read anywhere? No one checks this? No one reads this. That's like API, that's like extension API stuff. That's like a JSON file. Okay. Yeah, that's not like... I gotta relax. I gotta relax. That is so stupid. I can't look at 400. Who makes this? This isn't made anywhere. I don't understand. No one creates an array editor inspector. Like, that's nuts. First of all, that's nuts. No one makes it. It is only for like type nil or type int. I don't even understand why. It's only made for those types. If I pass string name, it doesn't care. It doesn't do it. That's not the same thing. There is some other way that arrays are edited. Array dict? Is that it? Editor properties vector? No, that's gotta actually be vector, right? This is literally vector. Yeah, it has labels X, Y, Z, W. So I just pasted array up there. It's got to be this one, actually. It has to be this one, because I know that arrays and dictionaries are represented very, very similarly. Very similar. Yeah, I mean, we're just Godot, we're C++. Let's just throw two different classes in the same file and just call the file with both names. Let's just do that. That makes sense. Hey, where's the editor property for arrays? Oh, you're gonna want editor property array object, which is in the editor properties array dictionary class file. You do not want the editor inspector array. That's not the one you want. You want the editor property array. And the editor properties array underscore dict. That's the one you want. Who made this, man? Who made this? Who did it? Revoke their programmer card. Every day I get more and more annoyed. I mean, the biggest sin that this repository does is the animation file, which contains like half of all the animation classes and half of all the animation logic in the entire engine is in this one file called animation. And there is a lot. All right, what do we make? We make a button called edit. Right? Because it's like a drop down. It opens, I click it and it adds the other thing. Actually, isArray property may not be the real one that I'm looking for. That's also very likely. Scroll to the bottom really quick. Oh look, localizable string is in here. So if you ever were looking for editor property localizable string, you want to find that one in the editor properties array dict file. That's where it is. Just in case you needed to find that one. I found it. Okay, there are 4 different classes in here. There's dictionary object. There's 5 classes in here. Editor property array object, editor property dictionary object, editor property array, editor property dictionary, editor inspector localizable string or something. We're insane. Someone smoked up and wrote this class, wrote this file. I cannot believe it. Where do we make update property? I don't understand. There's the drag and drop. There's the edit pressed, finally. Found it. What does it do? Editor set section unfold. Get edited property. Get editor initialize array. Initialize array? It has to be a mem new, right? It's a mem new. Okay, so why do... Please, 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 please. Is untyped array. Slot. Slot. I found a new class, guys. A new one. It's called slot. All right, I'm doing it myself. I mean, it looks like they kind of had one of these that existed, but then they just... I gotta shut up. I gotta shut up. How do I don't understand. How do people write? How does code like that get written? There's no explanation for that. I am literally just gonna write it all myself. That is insane stuff. Totally crazy insane. It's right here, man. It's right here. What I want is right here. It is so close. But it's only supported for empty or int. Like, it's so close. I can turn off movable. I can make it not numbered. Foldable. I don't even know what that means, but I mean, that probably means the thing where I click the button and it like drops, it opens and closes. Like, I don't want that to be foldable. I want it all to be visible right away. Actually, I mean, straight up, I don't want it to be foldable at all. I want to manage that myself if I want it to be foldable. I want to say, make my own foldable container if I want that. Don't give me stuff I don't need. And if you're going to give me stuff, let me configure it somehow. And anyway. Why do they have editor inspector array and they have editor properties array? Editor inspect, like, this is, if the property is an array, like, where's this used? I mean, this is it. This is it. Why do they have two of them? I mean, first of all, two of them, you're crazy. Second of all, 5... Okay. 3 distinct things. Localizable string, why the hell is that in the array dig file? Why is that there? Straight up why? Why are there some classes whose implementations are... They're declared in one header file, but then they're implemented in 2 different compiled files? Why? Why would you do that? Put them in the same file. Why is localized? Because the question is like, all right, I want to find localizable string. Where's that? Oh yeah, you're never gonna guess. It's in the array file. It's in the dictionary. It's in the array dictionary combo file. You may as well call it array dictionary localizable string file. If you're gonna be crazy like that. Okay. Making a scene. Going crazy. I'm gonna lose it. Actually, I will lose it. I think it's literally just gonna be... I mean, it needs to be a scene because it needs to still be this type. Because of how inheritance works, I can't have multiple inheritance, or I just can't have interfaces. I'd love to have interfaces. Can't have that. You get one parent and that's it. And if that parent doesn't extend the type you want, then tough luck. Okay. So essentially my idea here is I'm just going to start with strings and string names. And I'll let them be draggable, I guess. Actually, I won't do that. I'll have like a button on the side to like click it up and down. Yeah. I won't even mess with dragging things. And then I need number editor attaches value changed, which just calls, so we have to emit changed. Yeah, so we have to do that. The changed function, I have to manage all that. Okay. I can also do numbers. I mean, I don't need numbers yet. I'll add it when I need it. Where's array editor? It's down here. Oh, it needs to be a tool. Make sure that. And I've accidentally saved guide. Get resource. Wow. So basically I'm just going to add a horizontal box when I add an element. I'm going to have a button that will be at the end. Or I guess you can just add it now. Yeah, I guess let me do it kind of similar to what they do. So I'll just have a button. What do we button? Add element, elementi. Add an element. And make sure this one has the theme. And then horizontal we will shrink nope, fill. Then this one, horizontal. Shrink center. And we will give it an icon. When we load. Right. You be less loud. Shh. Hey. You start being less loud. What is expand icon? What is expand icon? Button's icon will shrink. No. Icon is get theme icon. Add. I remember. Add. Editor icons. 2D. Scene. Reload. Button. And then I will do... I mean, also, I kind of want... Yeah. I do like the label at the top saying how many elements you have. I do actually like that. How do they do it? Can I open anything really quick that has an array? I definitely can. So this is what it looks like normally. You have size. I gotta move over. I'm losing sight of my screen because the wall is so bright behind me. Just, why is all the important stuff right there where the highlight is the worst? I should be way over here to see this. Okay. Also, this drag start and drag end is really interesting. Yeah, so basically I'll just have the add element button. I'll have the delete icon. I won't have a number here because that's just silly, I think. Oh, that's really nice. I just noticed this thing is like hiding and showing chunks because it can't display it all. And then I guess this is just a line edit, I'm pretty sure. Which the line edit gives me that, right? I think so. Is that part of line edit? That wall is so bright behind me. How do they do that? How do they do that? So I'm pretty sure it's got to be this one. You have the reorder button. Property is an editor property nil. Create new property slot. Interesting. They should have a line edit though, right? Oh no, they actually just use the editor property like string name for that. Never mind. Just delete that. How should I do label? I feel like I should do AV box. Or H box. This up here. Alignment center. This will be aligned right. I'm thinking it matters. And then I'll have the actual size here. So it'll just be 0. Let's do this. Expand and expand. Perfect. And this has to be aligned left. Let's be aligned right. There we go. That's how I wanted it aligned. So now when this number changes, if it gets like really large, it just grows out the side. Before, what would happen is it would like center both these together. So it would just look a little weird. That doesn't need to be set like that anymore. I guess I could try to balance it maybe by typing in elements. Yeah. Do I get a theme variation for... I guess there's dark label. Nah. What if I made this one transparent label? I would like that to be monospace. I don't have a monospace option though. So why not make it? Cool. Now label size can be mono. Excellent. Should I make it a... No, I don't want that. I just want the button to add the elements and then the buttons next to them to delete them. That's all I want. Okay. So I'll do a method that will just add an element to this elements box. It will take, I think, nothing actually. It just straight up adds one to the end of the list. And will connect anything up or something like that. This button I want to be on press. Okay. Um, so I do get, I get property and resource. Okay, so I get property. So when I add an element, I know that the thing that I'm putting in there needs to be a certain type. For now, like I said, I'm just going to do strings. I mean, I can actually make it be an integer as well with just a spin box. It's not a big deal. So if property type string, we do one thing. Also have string name. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay. I was thinking here that for int and float, I probably need to force to be rounded or something. I can't remember what it is. Actually, did I miss that with... No, I don't think so. Anyway, these are the only ones I'm going to support for now, I guess. Okay. So for string and string name, I'll actually merge these because I know they're going to be similar. Same thing with these. So for string and string name, I'm creating a line edit. I need a function here that's like on element modified, which takes a binding, I guess, for the value, which will just be some type, and then the index. So I will make a... Yeah, for now I'm just going to like put in the line edit. And then... I guess when I'm ready... What do I do here? I would need to add an element for every one of the values in the array. Yeah, I guess I can just do it here. It's an array of something. Be resource, get property name. For each one of the array, I'm going to just run add element. And then I'm going to get that element. Maybe it can pass a value, like a base value. Which I'm pretty sure setting it to null is fine. That should be fine. I believe for these ones it's also fine, so if I were to do a spin box. And then of course I need to add that to that there. And I'll do set value no signal. very nice that it's super crazy clear. Rather than other times where they just say they have a signal for value change, but they don't tell you if changing the value will cause the signal to happen, so you literally have to look at the code to see if it does, or just run it and test it. Okay. So I add an element with that as the default initial value. So nulls should just kind of come through as nothing. I guess I can check that too. And then that should just set everything up right away. Yeah, does this one? Oh, that actually says that it doesn't. Nice. Either way, I'm going to set it after this, because I bet in the future they may just change that. I mean, they probably never could, because that would be possibly breaking for stuff. So at this point, they're kind of locked into that poor API, where they have to like define everywhere that it does it. Line edit setting the text doesn't emit the text changed. Spinbox setting the value emits value changed. So you have to use a function called emit set value no signal. We're just crazy people, right? They should just break their API one day and unify that. And that's how it should be. Setting the text should never trigger a signal. So you have to always set the signal, and they also need to document this does not cause the signal to change. Or signal to emit. We will connect it to on element modified bind the current number of children in the container. Bound arguments are passed after. Bound arguments are passed after. And I'm really praying that these just pass, yeah, just the value. So whenever I do this, I would say on element modified. So this is where I will go here, and I'm just going to copy that. We emit changed. Okay, so it's a bit different here because I think this one is operating under the assumption that we've already set the value. Yeah, they've already set the value. So yeah, then I would, right, okay. What do I do? I should set it here first. Resource set. Property name. Ooh. So this is a bit different. I only know that I'm modifying one of the indexes. So I will do element. Can't do that. I will do array. Get the array. This gives it to me as a reference. So then I do array index. Can I do array set index? Does this allow me to... This is the same as using the bracket operator. Okay, so there's no need for me to do that then, I guess. I was hoping it might be like, oh, this behaves like insert if you're inserting at the end, if you're setting to the end or whatever. So I set the array on changed. I guess this should call array, even though it's the same. Emit changed, then I retrieve. Here's the thing. I don't actually need to do that because arrays are always references. And if the onChanged func wants to modify the resource, which it can do that, it should be able to do that. Yeah, because that's how the number editor works too. It gets the value and it checks if they're different, and if they are different, then I'm modifying mine. Ah, okay. So I do have to check. Yeah, I do have to check because they could change it. So if the array index is equal to value still, then I'm done. If I'm not, I do have to find this and set it. So I guess I can pass in the control itself. So I can write back to it if I really want to. I will do this though. I happen to know this should... Can I write as variant? I happen to know that this will make it a copy. I'm pretty sure this makes it a copy. I happen to know in at least some cases this makes it a copy just by writing as, because the cast forces a copy. Sometimes. Never mind. I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. Does this return? What does get? Get returns a variant. Do I write in that order? If new value is value? Yeah. Then we're done. Otherwise, control text is going to be new value. Okay, so this updates the UI if any of these somehow modified it. Though, I mean, they could overwrite the index. Arrays are referenced. So in theory, we don't have to get it again. Was resized. It happened that the array was actually not even resized. The array was and maybe the array was recreated, so it's must be checked fully. Alright, I'm gonna make a promise that I don't do that. It is important that change functions do not resize or change the array reference, but only the value of the modified index. Unfortunately, this one can't know that, which kind of sucks. But you know what? Let me say this. Let me see value in index. So that way the idea is it only modifies, if it wants to change it, it only modifies that index. So I could still do something like, say I want the name to only be lowercase and replace spaces and dashes with underscores and only ASCII letters. I could handle that with the onChanged function. Read the value and write it back to index without modifying the whole array. So that means resource property editor needs to where is it? Resource editor? Wait, who does this? Editor? Okay, vision editor, vision property editor. It's here. There it is. Okay. If it's an array, it yeah. Oh. This is why. Type is type array. There we go. Okay. Now that's handled. I guess I can drag this in. Cool. And I guess I should do a warning here or an error here. Yeah, no editor for type. So now this doesn't do that. This doesn't have to do that. Does number editor do that? It does do this because it needs to, you know, it needs to be different. So we'll do that. Otherwise this one, it just passes it through, which onChanged function is kind of responsible for setting things. Cool. On element modified, we pass that in. Then I'll just say this. When the change function does not resize or change the array reference. Does not, I guess just say, does not resize the array. And it should only modify the index provided. Modify the provided index. If they're the same, we're good. If they're not, then I need to go back and set it on the original control without further emitting signals. Should these be in parentheses? I think they should be in parentheses. Okay, and then of course I also need the delete box. So I guess just at the end here, I can just do that. And yeah, for now I don't care about ordering. When I care about ordering, I will add in a drag button and allow myself to say, hey, I want this to be ordered or not ordered. And definitely with like a property hint. I would really like to be able to type in on like vision settings, string name, comma, unordered. What the? Forgot a spell. Do something like that. I'm hoping that that would not cause errors from the editor side, or when it tries to save it or load it. It probably would, actually. No, because I think the only one who reads that is... Okay, here's the first issue. I didn't find property hint array type used anywhere in the code in relation to this, which is crazy to me. That's nuts. So I don't know who uses this because I couldn't find it. Yeah, I literally couldn't find it. Or at least they never checked this. How do they? Because the only explanation is that they know this type and they check for this. They don't check for that. They check this one. And then maybe they read this. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Oh, whatever. Then I need a delete button, the minimum. So, let me actually just make this up here. The main control. And do line edit and then say control equals line edit. And then down here at the bottom is where I do add child control. Because then what I want to do here is say control horizontal flags expand and fill. So this takes up as much room as possible. And then I would have a delete. And this will have an icon. It's got to be like just delete, I bet. These should all be string names too. I keep forgetting that. And I'm not sure. I think the button just takes up its size. Let me test that then. Let me get rid of the text here. Okay, yeah, it just takes up its size. Can I make it? I mean, I don't know, I guess it's fine. I guess I do know the size of it, so I guess I could say the minimum size should be 16. That should also be 16. Maybe I guess 20 and 20. 30. So what is this? It's 28 pixels. All right. So say 28 by 28 then. Though I actually really don't know. I guess I could say the minimum size should be... They don't actually have that. What's one of these? Content margins. So I have 8 pixels. So yeah, that's 24. 16 plus 8, 24. So I'll say 24. Or just the icon size plus 24. At 8. Because that's what I expect the margin to be. I mean, I could fully compute it actually, so let me do that then. So it should just be like empty, I think. Oh no, normal. It is normal. I can look right here. If I click button. Normal. Actually, I guess it would be left and right, really. So do min size is that plus the max again of their max? No. I mean, is there really not a thing for the button to say, hey, make yourself a square? Is there really not? I guess I could use like aspect or something. No, I don't even know. I actually don't even know. Right? Okay. Wait, does this mean I should actually put this one here? Actually, I think I should put this one here. the largest dimension. There we go. That's what it should be. So either the full Y or the full X to make it square. Okay. And then rest. Do I want... I feel like I kind of want to ask if I want to delete the element. I feel like I kind of want to do that. So I will do that. But you can hold shift and delete and click the button to automatically do it. So yeah, I will check if the shift button is pressed. Is key I want shift. If shift is pressed, I'll just delete it right away. I guess I should say if not. And then have my own remove element value. Or a different function that does this. So if it is pressed, remove element right away. Otherwise, if it's not, I want to ask. What title? So button text is cancel by default. I'll say no instead of cancel. Maybe do remove and keep. Okay. And I think I do editor interface, pop-up dialog, centered. Okay. So I can hold shift to delete it instantly without the confirmation. And I also would like to, and I want some extra text too. The text displayed by the dialogue. I think what I really want is to have stuff. I think I do like add child. Yeah, I think I can just use add child. Delete element at index. Index, and then I need this will be I think, yeah, so confirm theme needs to be my theme. I'll do self. Self theme. I'll put this all up here. Type variation. Use a string name. So I think I want header small, I guess. Maybe I'll just leave that as it is, and then have the other one have the bigger theme. The string of that all right. Now remove element. What is this? Should keep the same thing here. So this won't be on changed function. What could I pass to say that the element was removed? I guess I could pass null to say the element was removed. Also, if I add an element, yeah, how do I say here that I don't know, I'll just say on element modified. Then I can pass everything in. So this would be like adding a new element. These, I can say initial, index, index, control, line edit, like that. Is it rounded? Yeah. Should I? I should probably use the number editor, shouldn't I? And just hide this, hide the slider. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use number editor and hide the slider. Because then it will handle... Well, I mean, actually won't handle any of that. So never mind. It's just going to be simple. It is going to be simple for now. Okay. I guess an on element modified. I could check up here at the top to see if now the onChange function should do it actually. The default should do this. If the index is, I will do this. If we're less than 0 or is greater than array size, this is a problem. Index and array size. And just return. Then you have to check if index is equal to array size. We are adding oh, those we're just setting. Okay. So now this handles creating or adding the value. Is there a way I can get, like, what is this box that they put in front of it to, like, demonstrate that it's a string name? It's got to be in here, right? Like, whoa. Whoa. Ew, if string name. Okay. So I actually check. Set string name, label, prefix equals new label. Tooltip text string name, mouse filter, stop. Get parent, add child, prefix, move child prefix to the front. So this doesn't have any style on it at all. Interesting. Wow. What? This looks like it's it. Text get parent, add child. Move it to the front. It must be this text's parent. This box container? Okay, I guess not. How do they theme that? How do they theme that? There's got to be a draw or something, right? Okay, I gotta find like editor property text or something. There's got to be something around here that says, like, this is the theme that we do for that. How would they do that? All right, I've gotta figure out. There's something about themes where I think the get theme does label even come with a style? Label does come with a style box. Label definitely comes with a style box. Yeah. I'm looking for... I was looking here first. Okay. Let's type in caps. One of these get theme methods like actually describes how it works. No, I want the get theme methods. For the current control, its local overrides are considered first, then its assigned theme. After the current control, each parent control and its assigned theme are considered. Okay. So it must be... How do they do this? I'm actually... That's really weird. How do they do this? It is like overlapped. How did they do that? This is just an HBox container. How do they do that? What? Yeah, they do set string name. Text get parent, this is the HBox container that they made. They don't do anything special there. I guess editor property text has to have some kind of theme. But I just looked it up and there was nothing there. There was no theme there. There is no theme. They don't do anything. They add the label and they put it at the front. Alright, set tooltip text. Let me look for this. This has to exist somewhere. Okay. That is the only place in the whole codebase that this is written. How do they do that? There's no theme here. There's no theme. So array, maybe? That's a text enum. Text enum. They created, there's no theme. Some enum. Streak name. So I guess I gotta find like editor inspector. Like somehow labels. How? You know what? Like literally whatever. I'm just gonna do it myself, I guess. I have no clue how they make that work. I'm just gonna imitate it. Yeah, because they must have like a negative separation here, because this is like overlapping it. Even if it was 0 separation, like this label has some like custom stuff going on. Let me look for theme variation. They have a ton of them. Hey, Danilin, check this out. I don't know. I don't know. Do they have label? Tooltip label. I mean, they don't. What is this? An arc. The suckless FPS game? What is this? What is this? This is kind of weird. Okay. This is kind of crazy, honestly. I do like integer math. Is this a joke? Okay. I gotta read this one. I will be ridiculed, made fun of, and bullied and dismissed as an obvious lunatic. So many similar people in history have seen the truth behind the curtain out of that time's propaganda. Dude. And those in front of it will say this is different because no, this is not different. I'm choosing to see the truth and I'm exiled for it. I am offering the truth to you, dear reader, but you will probably refuse it because it is too scary, uncomfortable. Dismiss this as a mere joke. What? This is not an answer. This is not anything. Why do I have to shoot poor robots? Robots can suffer too. How is this promoting pacifism with guns and shooting? What? Okay, I mean... You sound like an insane man. Yes, you are crazy. Firstly, don't panic and please don't hate me. I put that bug in there intentionally. Send me a mail or open an issue on GL to let me know and I'll probably try to fix it. Oh, I didn't put that bug there intentionally. I thought it said I put that bug there intentionally. Ask some other programmer or fix yourself, as most likely isn't as difficult as fixing a bug in a 1 million line of code program wrapped in layers of design patterns and written in 10 languages. Yeah. It actually says manifesto. This is a crazy person. This is always the weirdest thing when I see... Where is it? I mean, I'm taking everything seriously. Where is it? Shoot robots. It's something that bothers me. Like the Halo developer who's like, I hate guns. Guns scare me. I struggle with guns in the Halo game that I'm developing. I'm making an FPS game, and I hate FPS games. I mean, guns are scary. There's a lot of power behind very little effort. You know? You could almost call it like a civilian nuke. You know, if you're comparing a civilian, if you're relating one person to a government or a country, that is kind of the equivalent amount of power that you have with a gun. You can destroy life very, very quickly, but people who say things like, guns scare me, I hate guns, and then they make games with guns, even though he describes this like, oh, we should be able to do these kinds of things in games. Guns don't give a who I do when they stand in front of a gun and when I pull the trigger. Yeah, exactly. It's literally like there's a button in front of you and someone dies if you press the button. Like that's the effort to impact that a gun has, which is frightening. That is a scary thing. But it's the way this rubs me is that they're just trying to say, they're trying to act morally superior, I guess. I hate guns, but I love playing with guns. You can think guns are cool and also scary at the same time. Those aren't mutually exclusive. If they aren't in front of me, they don't die. Yeah. I mean, I do personally have an issue with, not really an issue, but I don't want to make a game. The reason I chose zombies is because I don't want to make a game as accurate as I would like it to be, or like as violent as I would like it to be, where the enemies are other people. Zombies turns them into a monster, something that is like just pure evil. You know, and you should not feel bad for shooting zombies. I didn't choose aliens because aliens are really hard to model, and they can look really stupid if I don't do them right. But also, even in a game like Halo, there's nothing stopping you from shooting your own teammates. Anyway, Hiss, cool, but you are a crazy person. Cool, but you are a crazy person. I like the passion, but you're also crazy. Your neighbors don't count as other people. They do. What's the why? But it is expressing that a world where we have millions of computer games. I wouldn't say millions. There isn't a single serious one made purely for the benefit of everyone on the planet without self-interest being embedded software underneath. Self-interest being embedded somewhere underneath, right? Saddest things, the so-called advanced. There are games like that. He says without a single one, like 90% of... Yeah, I was going to say 90% of indie games have no self-interest. Because they're usually released free. Sometimes they're even open source. And it's not even like people make a free game and don't make it open source because they're trying to protect it. They just don't... More than anything, they're probably just embarrassed. They don't want people to see what they've crafted underneath the hood. They don't want to be judged for that, so they just make the game. There exist other Libre games, so from at least one of many possible flaws. Dependency on the current state of capitalist dystopia. You know what's crazy? This is posted on GitHub. Point invalidated, sir. Burning self-interest. Triviality. Pong. Oh, okay. He had to throw it in there. This is how he gets out of Tetris. Oh, it's not a real game because it's too simple. Lacked attitude to usage rights. This guy is insane. This guy is criminally online. Not even, what is it? Terminally online? He is criminally online. There isn't a single one, purely for the benefit of without self-interest. We gotta exclude Pong. We gotta exclude the games that are literally fully 100% open source. With no strings attached. At all. You are crazy. You are a crazy person. Cool. Dude is huffing farts. Clearly. I don't want people to see my code and find out the lorem ipsum. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm making a game that I will make open source, but I also need to make money off of it, or otherwise, you know, you gotta contribute to society, and you have to take payment from society. Society will not pay you on its own goodwill. You have to accept the payment. Mine will be open source. Near release, I will close it so you can't see it, just for the protection of, you know, someone releasing it faster than I do. Or like I said, when it's at a state that I think the game could, like, possibly be released, that's when I'm going to close it. So that someone can't just release it for me. But then after release, it will be open source. You think that guy went to college? You think that guy went to college? Off someone else's money? Genuine question. Colleges for losers. That dude sounds like a college grad. That dude sounds like he went to college. He talks like he's gone to college. Maybe he didn't finish a degree, but those are the words of someone who went to college for at least a little bit. Or whatever their country's equivalent is if he's not American. He also sounds incredibly American as well. I would actually be a little shocked if he wasn't American. And to be clear, I am American, I know. Those people are a dime a dozen in the US who talk like that. All right, if we are a string name, I have this. Is control passed anywhere? No. Control is passed here, but that's like the base one. I do want to make it clear that the string name is a string name, so I put that there. I feel like I'm just writing like if string name a bunch. All right, let me do this. Down here, before I set the control, I'm gonna check if property type is a string name. I mean, to continue with it, like that, even if you're at the point where you're writing something like, oh, I know people aren't gonna agree with me. You've kind of resigned the fact that you know, like, the answers to the universe. That was so loud. You've like resigned. You've like accepted that you are basically godlike in your knowledge, and you will not. You won't let anyone try to convince you that you're crazy, and that your view of the world is just absurd, an absurd view of the world. That's like even more sad than just being crazy. Is saying, I know I'm crazy, but I'm right. I know the truth. If we have a string name, I am making H box, I guess. We're gonna add, this would be an else. I'm going to, yeah, just add like a label at the front of it. A label dark, I guess. I could do label dark. Also, I saw this. Can I actually write label new with some text inside? I meant to write hello. Yeah, tough. Variation. I think this is label dark label. And then I have to set add theme constant override separation 0. And then I guess Oh yeah. I set that. But also I need... Then here I actually need to make the line edit. Fill its container. And then label takes up whatever's left. Okay, a lot of code. Does this work? I should just kind of be able to throw it in here at this point. Sort of, not really. So yeah, what happens? Right? Something. Add. Unsupported element type 28. Why is that where the error is? Oh. It's not like this. It's, oh. So I guess what I need to do here then is have a type at the top. Variant type. So when we're ready, type. How do I get the type from the name? There's got to be a way, right? So there's type of, type, oh, type string. Type of. Type string, type convert. I want to pass a string name and get, or like the hint. There's got to be a method, right? Type or something. I would want it to return variant.type, right? Unless type of says that it returns an int, which is sad. It does. All right, let me see. Hint string. I'm hoping to find somewhere. Okay. So it looks like they... Okay, let me find this. Property hint. Alright, what is it? Array type, property hint, type string. Alright, so somewhere here they need to... They gotta check this one, right? They have to check this one. If hint is a hint string, property class name. That's not what I'm looking for, though. Similar, but not actually what I'm looking for. That's the only place. Okay. So let me look for variant array. Yeah, why do they do it like that? Array, editor property array, setup, editor property array. Setup. If the type hint is not empty, I have already forgotten what I'm even doing. Get type by name, hint string. Get type by name. This is the method. Get type by name. Why don't they expose that one? Why not? They should. They could. I could. Maybe it's actually on variant. Maybe it is. Literally nothing. Okay. Okay, well, I guess I'm doing this. What do I get when I print it? I actually wanted to print it. Class name is empty, string name. Right. Okay. Busy. Bye. Alright, see ya. If I get the array, can I actually check if the array is typed? Oh. Get typed class name. Oh. If the built-in variant type is type object. Get typed built-in. Oh, returns the built-in variant. Oh my god. So actually that's really nice. Type equals array. Get typed built-in. If the array is not typed, it returns nil. That's fine. Unsupported element type. I just won't. Yeah, I just can't use no type. Non-types. Also, I modified the script here and then reopened it and it worked. That's kind of interesting. How did that work? Unsupported element type 28. Oh, then these just become type now. Type. Make sure I don't have any property.type sitting around. Cool. Okay, so I was actually able to just like close this and reopen it, and it gave me the new code. And there's the dark label. Nice. And I guess I need to, for the tooltip, it does have to have that stop there. Is the delete button there? Almost. Okay, I guess it wasn't called delete then. I'm looking for it. I mean, I could locate it in the code. It would tell me. Remove. I was thinking it could also be remove. So actually, yeah, I was able to just close and then reopen this. That's actually really nice. So I don't know how I'm at the point where I can just close and reopen this for changes, but apparently I can. Somehow. I guess because the script always instances from the actual script itself. But I'm assuming that for normal stuff, like scenes, scenes don't update. Maybe they do. I guess I've never tried to reopen it after I modify a scene. Let me just see. If I change the text here, and then I hit save, then I close and reopen this. Wow. It actually just reloads it. Alright, good to know. So I don't have to... I guess I never had to reload it like that. I can just close and reopen it. Even here, this is enough. Cool. Actually, let me do label mono. Well, then I think I want to have like colors on it too. Do I really need that? Am I just going crazy? Maybe I'm going crazy. Hey demon, jostle. I might be going crazy if I do all that. Then I need this label to block the mouse. Mouse filter. Eggs. Egg. Why egg? String name. And then I click delete. Are you sure? That should be centered. And I may as well also make it larger, because I can. This is a font size override. I guess 20, probably. And then I want to center it. Alignment. Center. Nice. Nice. So if I hit save, now that actually does it. That's what I typed. And then if I delete, remove, okay, it doesn't actually do anything yet. But adding should work. There it is. Awesome. And doing this should mark it changed. Good. That elements counter doesn't work yet. And it does look kind of silly with how it's centered a little bit. Oh well. Okay, so now I need remove to work. Var array. So remove element needs to be like element modified. Yeah, I don't know how to run this, honestly. Maybe I'll just say maybe I could have the default be that if we try setting it to null, then it will delete it. So if the index is out of the bounds, that's a problem. Let me actually make a max. I can't say max. I can say max index. Size, and then if value is null, subtract 1. So what if I have an empty array and I pass 0? That won't hit, this should be max index. Max index would be 0, would be -1, so 0 is greater than -1. So yeah, this would guarantee that it's... Nah. Just have a totally different stuff. So now, greater than or equal to, it's not in the range, -1. Cannot remove the value at index, not in range, that. And I guess I could say, if array is empty, then this is also a mistake. Array is empty. Okay. Should just be array remove at index. Okay. So now when I remove element, it's going to be very similar to this, but I'm just not going to check. I don't need to check anything. Call with null index changed, and then I'll still leave the note here. Could I check that? I guess I could. Actually, I will. I will get the current size. If the array... It's fine if the array reference changes, but the size can't change. Unless we are adding a new element. So I'll say... Yeah, I can do some checks. If old size is not equal to... I can check if it was adding one. So if index was equal to old size, index is not equal to old size, this will be an error. Except to add a new element when index is equal to size. And I'll just leave that. When I'm removing something, I expect the size to be precisely one less than it was before. Important that the change function resize down 1. I guess I'll say expected size. And I will do a max here. Because I don't want to print an error twice if we're removing an element from an already empty array. So this will save that. I guess it's also possible that this could be out of bounds. Whatever. Yeah, I'll just do that. It's fine if it prints more than one error, actually. Wait. -1. Then I can just return. And then here I need to go out and find that control. I should just be able to remove what is it, elements? Alright, it's gotta be weird like this. Remove child, elements, get child, index. And then I apparently don't have to do anything but close and reopen this. And then it will work. Delete that one, remove, it's gone. Save. And it's gone. So I click add a couple times, and then I hit save. Cool. And I'll put 5. 5318 or 3518. The order should stay the same, but the order doesn't matter for me, but it should stay the same. So now I'm just gonna delete 8, index 4. 8 is gone. I mean, I'm sure that this will work. Oh. Alright, well that failed. So why did that fail? That's actually strange. How did that fail? Oh, zombie target was there before. Okay. So I think what I need to do is probably have so when these call, I think somehow these need to, on element modified, they need to bind this control. They need to bind to this control is what they actually have to do. So Yeah, because I'm binding with the index, this is kind of the problem. The index is binding. That shouldn't be how it works. It should be binding with the control at the end. So there should be binding with the control at the end. And then the remove button should be binding with the control. So instead of index here, yeah, I'm always passing. I mean, here it's fine because it is the same control. Maybe not. All right, let me say this. On element modified takes an index, but then for the bindings, they need to be something different. They need to retrieve their index. Like this. So I can get my index. Is there an index of? Get index. Oh. Wait, get index among its siblings. Okay, good. So yeah, I guess what all I have to do here is do on element modified value get index editor. Okay. So now these bindings need to bind that on control modified. It takes in control and line edit. These are fine. These are like loading or new initialization. This is new initialization, so we can call it right away. But the bindings always have to run control modified. So that way their index is always correct. So now these should work. But I'm expecting I delete this one, and then I click this one, and it's already busted. Okay. But I thought the code works. I thought the code reloads correctly. Oh. Yeah, so it's not quite like that. It's going to be control get parent base. I mean, actually, okay, let me, okay, no, I can't. Yeah, it's just control get parent. That's what I'm looking for. It's weird that the first one worked. I guess it just happened to. Okay, let's add some numbers here. So I'm gonna delete 5, index 1 with 5, remove. Delete 1, index 2 with 4. Okay, so it's still... What is going on? Oh, on element delete is still wrong, actually. On element delete needs to bind to element. And I guess here I can actually pass the index and the element. Make it a little bit easier. Okay. Let me try deleting the last one each time. Actually, the last one would work. I need to delete something that would technically modify the indexes of the ones after it. Okay, delete 1, remove, delete 4, 1, 4, remove, 1, 7, remove. Got a couple of these. Let's try deleting this one, index 3, index 3. I hit save, I expect to see 0, 5. I delete that one, save, 0, 5, 0, 0, save, empty. Awesome. And let me just check that shift delete. Nice. No questions asked for shift delete. Right, now I guess I should make the elements number update. Does this return a number? Nope. And then when I remove, Okay. And then delete one from the middle, remove, save. Looks correct. Close, open. It's like really laggy when I open this. What's the error? Invalid assignment, property of key text with a value of int. Okay, but it worked anyway. What are you talking about? It works anyway. Very funny. Oh, you can't do that. But actually you can. It's actually wild that it says you can't do that, but it does it anyway. That is really weird. Yeah, it's really laggy to open. Why is it so laggy? Because this is like no time at all to load. Do I need to like... I don't know. I don't know what I should do there. It is a lot of new happening and new in... GGScript is pretty slow. It's really slow. But I mean, I guess it's fine. Looks like it's working pretty well. Is that everything from here? Is all the settings that I have? That's all the settings. They're all there. Cool. But of course I definitely need to print the labels next to these so that it's, you know, not impossible to know what you're doing. Because I mean, for these sliders, the only way that I know which one is which is because this one says meters. This one has the M next to it. And that one has the degree symbol next to it. For line edit, is there like a font color for the placeholder? Oh, there is. So why does it not work? Oh, it actually just straight up doesn't work. Oh, that's a spin box. The spin box suffix or prefix is what I'm looking for. I know it's here. It's not here. Okay. Kind of confused by that, honestly. And there is no color for the suffix. I have not found a good way to rotate the pine to make the idiot point up and down. What? Right? Yeah. Look, the suffix there is like faded. I want that. I want the faded suffix. Spine. Rotate the spine. Field and buttons separator. Does line edit have... Because this uses that color. Like if I change it, right? Yeah, it uses all of that. Why though? Also undo that. Undo that. I guess I can't undo that. I don't know. Okay. Oh, did I just change the color to? Oh, apparently I didn't change the color. Okay. Maybe Spinbox does have like a secret font color that it uses. Let me go find it. Spinbox. Suffix. It calls update text. Value is prefix. It just adds it on. That is so lazy. I can't believe that. That is so annoying. Why do they literally just have a different editor? Like, why do they literally just have something different? Why? It's fine. It's whatever. Lumen is back. Yep. Lumen. This is so bright. RTX on. Alright, well, I can't do anything with the suffix. Tough. Why would they do that? Why would they actually do that? Why would they create this whole UI thing and then just make their own custom types for like almost everything? Like, this is a real text edit and this is a label, but somehow this label is styled, which is, I don't understand how. This is not a real spin box. This is a custom spin box. This is a custom spin box, which just spawns a line edit on top of it. The spin box is a line edit, is actually not a line edit. I think it draws everything on its own. It's so dumb. It's genuinely so dumb. Why is this laggy? Whoa, why is this laggy? What's happening? Why is it? That is absurd. Is that why it's so laggy? Wait, why is that so laggy? Reload project. Is it really that bad? No, this opened instantly now. Okay, but now that... Trying to assign a value of type array editor to a variable of type property editor. What? No, it just straight up didn't load this correctly. It straight up didn't load this correctly. Alright, Godot. You're drunk. It literally just didn't load that correctly. Array editor had a parsing error. No. Number editor had a parsing error. No. Property editor. Cannot resolve behavior property editor. No. Must have a resource before adding to the scene. How? I don't use any of that. I don't use any of that. I don't use that. I don't use that. Alright, where do I... Must have a resource. Must have a resource for adding to scene. Mind ready. Editor vision ready. So that just doesn't make any sense because either I'm creating a vision editor or a mind editor, and I'm adding it to the scene. Which this isn't even loaded yet. It's literally not loaded yet, which is weird. Why are we broken? All right. You know, this is actually a good stopping point. An insane error like this is actually a great stopping point. Because normally I would get lunch at this point and then come back and continue working, but I have something to do later. So, Yili, I'm sorry if you're here. I will be saving that video for tomorrow. I'm really confused why it's trying to spawn editors. It's like there's no, that's not possible. It's adding it to the tree without setting a resource on it. But then it's failing to compile? I don't understand. It says there's a parse error. There's no parse error. Everything is actually working. Like straight up just buggy Godot. I don't get it. I know there's like files in the background that are failing to compile, but that shouldn't be stopping the ones that don't depend on that to compile. And I was literally running it and it was working. It was compiling it just fine. But it doesn't think that they're tools anymore, which I don't understand that at all. Like the script editor is supposed to highlight, these should be highlighted blue. This one's highlighted blue, which means it parsed. I don't know, maybe I just like do that. And then I hit save. Oh, and it like suddenly works, right? Yeah, and it literally just suddenly works, and it's not like weirdly, insanely lag. Add, what? How did that happen? That's weird. Bro got Godot. Yeah, I have no idea why. That's an engine bug. Somehow that's an engine bug, for sure. Because I literally just deleted a letter. It said that property editor failed to compile, but it didn't. because I just deleted one letter and added it back and hit save, and then it worked. I didn't even have to do that, actually. It was already highlighted blue, which means it did compile, and it compiled as a tool. The other two said they failed because the other one didn't compile. Which is a lie, because it did. Because it was highlighted blue. No clue what happened there. That's just a really weird one. Alright, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to send this, and then that's all for today. Whoops. Make sure to, yep, I will. I'll be sure to do that. Thanks for reminding me. As if I would have forgot. Add array editor. Add array property. Currently ordering is not supported. Will be implemented when I need it. No problem. Yeah. I moved number editor, I guess, so I'll say that. To own folder. And that's it. I'm back, and why are you committing? Yep, so I'm done for today. I am sorry, but I'll leave your video for tomorrow. I just feel like by the time I eat and then I finish, I'd have like less than an hour to do anything else. So I'm just gonna end it early. Yep, tomorrow will be a full day though. Godot one for today. Yeah, like I was like, oh, something's weird, so I like reloaded it because it was laggy, and then it said, oh, by the way, none of your scripts are compiling anymore. And I just hit save on them, and then they compiled. So it's just dumb. This is awesome. I really like that it asks you, hey, you actually want to delete that, and then I can just hold shift and delete it. If I know for sure. Why not? It's gotta be a editor bug. There are other scripts that are failing to compile, so my thinking is that it's like loading them all and parsing them all at the same time, and so it gets, I feel like there's got to be some memory management somewhere where it thinks that a file that has no dependencies has a failed dependency, so it marks that one as failed even though it succeeded. And then the ones that depended on that one fail because the one that completed said it didn't complete even though it did complete because its dependency failed. I mean, I don't think so. Like, I'm sure that is going to be a while. Right? I'm sure that's going to be a long time. I'm thinking what they do when they release versions is they do it in like a day. So on the day that my PR is merged is the day that the probably like within 24 or 48 hours. What is it? Author me? Author at me? Why does it say review required? Oh. Yeah. I'm assuming this means that it's going to be sent in. Or maybe this is actually their review. Oh, I guess this is review, isn't it? Honestly, could be never. Months from now. Well, I was thinking when they do that, that means they like did some initial review and they were like already going to accept it, but I guess it doesn't. Because a lot of these say review required. My thought is when they do add it, they're just going to say... They probably have some script or something. They put in like the PR numbers that they want to merge. And the script will merge all of them into like a tag. And they test that tag. Or they run some automation testing or whatever. Could be literally never, actually. How many maintain this? I mean, I am assuming all the contributors. Or all the members. Okay, not yet. Definitely not all the contributors. 42. Wait, is that the guy that... Oh, this is alphabetical, isn't it? No, it's not. Alphabetical by username. Yeah, I'm assuming all those guys are committed maintainers of it. Okay, that's it. Get pushed though. I'll be back tomorrow for a full day. I might... No, I won't. I was going to say I might get on later today, but no, I won't. Yep. Goodbye.